Here we have a new 2026 Nissan Frontier. This one comes in the S trim level with 4-wheel drive, crew cab, gun metallic paint, charcoal cloth interior. The powertrain consists of a 3.8 liter naturally aspirated V6 that's mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission that gives us 310 horsepower, 281 pound-feet of torque. As we come around to the front end here, we do get our LED headlamps, and I really like the look of these headlamps here. It's very fresh look, I think. Even though this is the base model, we don't get the daytime running lights. Still a really nice look here. As we come around to these wheels, these are going to be 16-inch alloy. And then to the door panel here, you get one touch up and down windows on the front, regular power windows on the back, power door lock controls, rear window locks, blind spot monitors, which is a big plus here. Bottle holders, brightness for the gauge cluster, and turn that safety system on or off, with blind spot monitors, excuse me, and then cargo lamp, downhill brake control, and then we have our foot pedal parking brake, traction control, manual tilt, telescoping steering wheel. And then here's our driver's seat. That's a 6-way manual. Let's go ahead and pop the hood while we're down here. But a huge thanks to John Roberts Nissan here in Manchester, Tennessee for allowing me to review this truck today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information. I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. Now, I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs, so that's my leg room there. There's a look at the front from back here. And then there's a look at the middle seat. You get a manual sliding rear window, so just push in there, slide that forward and back. Lights up top. You get a seat back pocket on the passenger side. And then if you want to hang a shirt there, you can. And then we can fold these seats up. You pull up on this latch. You do it on either side, and then you have additional space for that. And then you kind of have to release it there with that same latch. Child locks, lock and unlock. And I apologize for the wind noise. It's freezing out here, so I can barely feel my face. But there's a look at the back of the vehicle right there. And there's a look underneath, spare tire, exhaust. An easy let down tailgate here. Then as we come around to the rear passenger side, again, you can use this to fold this side up, and your lower anchors are right here. And then you can pull the strap on the back of the seat, so you have your top tethers right there if you need those. Here's our 4-way manual front passenger seat. Glove compartment there. And then y'all can pause anywhere you need to take a closer look at this window sticker. So $38,740 is the sticker price. And then coming back around to the front, just a quick look in the engine bay. And there's that 310 horsepower, 3.8 liter V6. And before we hop in, just gonna show off the blinkers. So vinyl wrap steering wheel here. There's the horn. Over here to the radio, we get AM, FM, XM, Bluetooth, again, wired CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility. You can go through those connections here. Info is here. Your settings are right here. Change your language or units of measurement there. Your camera settings here. You have buttons down below for the volume knob. You can click there to turn the audio off. You have a tune knob there. You can just press it in, and then you can go through the bass, treble, and all of that. Camera button to get to that same thing I just showed you. Brightness for the screen. Bluetooth. Then your hazards are right there. Backup cameras here. Guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel. I like how the Frontier nameplate is right there. It looks good. Little storage up top. Over here, 12 volt, single zone manual climate controls. Parking sensors here. You have a USB-C and USB-A port to connect directly to the radio with CarPlay, Android Auto. Four-wheel drive controls are here. Auto stop toggles right there. And then for your shifter, just grab the back of the lever, reverse neutral drive. Then you can come over here and manually shift right there. Bottle holders. No storage, center console cubby space. There's a look at the back seat from up here. There's your SOS button, the lights, nice big sunglasses holder. And then we have a visor, no mirror. And back to the steering wheel itself. Left side stalk, you have your auto high beams, so you can go through those. High beams there, flash, blinkers, intermittent wipers on the right side, one time off, intermittent low, high. You can adjust the intermittent frequency of the wipers there, then pull up here for that fluid. Now to the left side of the steering wheel, we can go through our audio sources, so you can hit that and you'll see it change over here. You can adjust your volume down here. You can go through your track list or radio station presets with this button here, and then you can use these two arrows to go through the settings here in the middle part of the gauge cluster. So you can change your units in the dash if you want to do that. Language as well. And then your vehicle settings, you can toggle that. Driver assistance as well. And then voice recognition, Bluetooth. Then over here, you can turn your cruise control on or off. Then you can adjust the gap for the adaptive cruise there. Set your speed, cancel right there. Push button start. Finally, here's the key fob. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2026 Nissan Frontier S Crew Cab out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Frontier here, I'm very impressed with the overall truck. Now it's 39 grand, but you get four-wheel drive, you have a V6, naturally aspirated, higher displacement, one of the last ones that are left in this size pickup truck. You know, the Canyons have a four-cylinder, the Ranger has a four-cylinder, now the Tacoma has a four-cylinder. And it's just nice to have a V6 in this one. I'm gonna try to lean the seat back so y'all can see a bit better. But it's a decent amount of truck, I think, for the money, because you do get a 9-speed automatic, the naturally aspirated V6, four-wheel drive, 2-speed transfer case. Everything else feels relatively basic, but this is also a crew cab. Relatively spacious in here, honestly. I like that we get the intelligent cruise here as well. that's standard on the S. But everything still feels like a basic pickup truck. And I think that's what a lot of people want, even as they're having to pay more and more for vehicles these days. If you're going after the S because you're wanting to save money, you're just worried about the usability, this feels more rugged than a Canyon or Ranger with the Turbo 4, I think, where you're paying the same money. The controls aren't anything, but you know, they do the job. Again, this is a big plus, having full four-wheel drive. Now, you don't get a power seat and a few of the other amenities that you get on the elevation trim level in the Canyon or the XLT trim level in the Ranger for the same money. But again, those are usually rear-wheel drive trucks, so having the four-wheel drive with a V6 is just it's great. Now, these have always had more of a stiff ride, and I'm feeling that now. The only truck that's stiffer, in my opinion, is the Tacoma. When I'm talking about the mid-size trucks, I feel like the Canyon rides the best. The Ranger's a close second, and then down a bit is the Frontier, followed by the Tacoma. I'd say the Frontier is actually a close third, and the Tacoma's down quite a bit. But again, it's not a bad thing. I think the Tacomas feel more rugged, more off-road capable than any of these trucks, unless you're looking at a Pro 4X Frontier. So shouldn't surprise you that it's gonna ride a bit rougher. But the blind spot monitors are nice. Having those standard, again, with the intelligent cruise control. Having the LED headlamp standard is good. And I just like how this infotainment system is laid out. You don't have a screen that's protruding your vision here, because the hood is in your line of sight. It's not necessarily bothersome by any means, but it is noticeable if you're looking for it. But a very comfortable truck for this to have cloth seats. Now, this is a freshly paved industrial road, so if you've been following my channel for a minute, this is usually where I can test how rough a ride is, because I've driven Sequoias down this road. If I test drive a Tacoma next to it, I'm gonna feel the difference on the same stretch of road, where this has been smoother and it's newer. Doesn't really do it justice comparing it to the other reviews I've done down this stretch of pavement. Now, another thing that I don't have here are the different drive modes that I can change, so that's kind of a letdown, but also it's really not, because you don't need an eco and a sport and a normal and all that here. But I'm not going to put it in the manual mode, but I'm going to give it a pull getting on the interstate here. Here we go. So it wasn't flooring it, but I did give it something, and it wasn't strained like the Tacoma is. It wasn't strained like the Ranger and the Colorado is, having to get it up to speed, and you feel like it's kind of whining. It's just a solid pull there. But I want to give one more thanks to John Roberts Nissan here in Manchester, Tennessee, for allowing me to review this truck today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get to the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But I have the adaptive cruise on now, and the ride quality here is not terrible. It's pretty solid, I think, for a truck like this. Now, it's very windy out today, but sound acoustics are pretty good in here. Not noticing road noise, but again, it's windy, so it'd be hard to tell. But I think for the money, you get a solid truck. You get relatively good fuel economy to have a V6 midsize truck. You have the intelligent cruise, you have the blind spot monitors, and you have that more updated feeling interior. Even though this is an S, this feels more modern than the, you know, the previous generation Frontiers. And honestly, as I've driven this, it doesn't feel as technologically advanced from the driver's perspective as I look at the dash, the radio, the HVAC controls compared to a Canyon, compared to a Ranger, even compared to the new Tacoma. But it doesn't feel cheap either. And some of the newer vehicles, you can tell where they kind of skimped out on things. Like, yeah, the screen looks nice, but there are other places where money was trying to be saved. But here, this feels right. It feels right for an S trim. It feels right for a basic trim. And you really have everything you need, and it's easy to use. And I think they did a great job with this truck still, and that's, maybe that's one of the reasons that it hasn't been full within a minute. It's still a modern vehicle. It still feels modern. It still feels new, even though it is somewhat of a dated redesign compared to the others in the segment. But it might have been because Nissan was there first. It just depends on how you look at it. But all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2026 Nissan Frontier in the S trim level.